Good morning. It's a Sunday morning, and that means it's time for the House Whisperer show at WWDB with our very own House Whisperer, Jack Milne. Stay tuned for expert advice about maintaining your house from the roof to the basement, featuring professional home inspector Jack Milne, who tells us that every house has a story. I'm Barry Reisman, and he's Jack Milne. How you doing today, Jack?
I'm great, Barry, and here it is, the last show for March.
Already? I can't. Where did it go?
I'm telling you, I know we had that scare I guess it's a week or so ago that, they said that they were going to bring some white flakes back to the area. But I'm hoping now that the snow will be behind us and Easter's in front of us, and before you know it, the mowers and the weed whackers are coming out. You got to fertilize the yard, and you got to start killing the weeds.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd rather shovel the snow or cut the weeds. I don't know which is worse.
It's funny because the grass grows and so does the weeds, but I find that the weeds grow regardless of how hot or cold it gets and wet.
Yeah.
These seasons become. So I always find I'm killing more weeds, but I hope I don't kill my lawn at the same time.
There you go. So what's on the hot agenda for today?
Well, today's topic is cleanup time. With the weather being warmer, it's time to get outside, prepare for spring. So before we start, I'd like to thank the sponsors. And, in fact, next week, I want to say this to everybody now, we're going to have Rob Bruno on from Burrow Exterminating. So he's a lucky guy first. His number is 610-586-5640. His website is burrowexterminating.com. And next week, we're going to talk for a few minutes on radon testing, even in the spring, and why you should. But I think this is an interesting topic, some of the most unusual treatments that he's been involved with his career. So I'm going to ask that you listen in to Rob Bowie for next week. So anyway, a little preview there. Buxmont Inspections, Rob Bowie. Anything that deals with on-site sewage evaluation, treatment, design. Rob is the man. 215-669-4213, and BuxmontInspections.com is their website. Pest Blaster. Again, a couple of weeks ago, we had Mike Canner on talking about wood destroying insects as well. So great company, great group. 215-295-5555, and their website is pestblaster.com. BrainFleshGear.com. Email contact@brainfleshgear.com. Every week I say, anything that's eclectic or you want to make your own, be it airbrush, be it stencils, be it embroidery, anything that you need, BrainFleshGear.com can put together for you. And then finally, Tri-County Inspection Company. I've been running Tri-County since 1985. It is our 30th year. We cover 15 counties. We have excellent home inspectors. So if you're buying, selling, or investing, why don't you reach out to us at tcinspect.com. And let's give a Delaware County number today, 610-296-2004. The Lehigh Valley, 610-346-7880. And South Jersey at 856-853-4224. So, as always, please let the sponsors know that you heard their ad on the House Whisperer show. And again, what I always like is podcasts are always available at WWDBAM from Sunday to Sunday, 24/7. And for emails, I'd like you to go to the House Whisperer Show at gmail.com, because last week we delved into that email box. I love doing that. And speaking of which, and one more thing I want to forget. Any past shows, the archives, go to housewhispershow.com. So, speaking of the email box, come on, Jack, get that tongue working. I know it's Sunday here. Ed from New Brunswick, New Jersey. Jack, I heard the show on flooring. John Donlan was a good source on different types of floors, but I have a tile question. My house was built in the mid-1960s. We're redoing the kitchen, and we have a tongue-and-groove subfloor, and we're undecided as to a wood floor or tile. What do you think? Well, I think at the substrate below your floors, you have to figure out what choice of flooring you want. Because if you're going to go with a hardwood floor, then you want to put a 1/4-inch Lawan subfloor over the tongue and groove floor. But again, based on what I've learned through John, I would stay away from the engineered laminates. So a good, true hardwood floor works for a kitchen, and I wouldn't do anything less than an engineered hardwood. But if you're doing tile, you have to go with a Hardy board or Durarock, and that's a masonry board that still gets screwed to your subfloor about every 4 inches, and you need a good, strong base before you lay your tile. If you choose to put the Lawan down, Ed, you're going to get cracks. So my best scenario, again, is to glue, maybe like a liquid nails is a great product, along the subfloor, lay the Durarock down and or Lawan, and I typically use it like a 2-inch galvanized screw, and it should be done again every 4 inches. So the most important thing is that you want no movement. When you lay that new hardwood down or the tile, there's no separation, no settling of your floor of choice. When we redo our kitchen this summer, I know I'm going to be tearing out the tile, get to the subfloor. I'm going to go back to the original 1x6 tongue groove flooring that when I redid the kitchen 15 years ago. Here we go again. Adding a Lawan and using an engineered hardwood to match the family room that we did last year. So, Ed, good luck. Tile and hardwood are as different as day and night, so you do want to really discuss it with your significant other. Talk to a good flooring company because your choice should last at least 20 years or more, and you want it to. So if you like John Donovan's number at Tight Threads, it's 267-987-4666. So let's get going on today's segment, cleanup time. So let's start with the most obvious, and that's the kids. So I got them too. So no matter what their age, be they in their 20s or in their teens, you have to be on top of them to put their stuff away. And it's funny, neighbors sometimes seem to be as bad. I mean, I have a neighbor in our area whose Christmas lights are still up on one of their trees, drooping over the sidewalk, and the manger scene is sprawled all over the tree. Hey, folks, wake up. It's Easter time.
Christmas is over, right?
You would think so, but I pass by this house every day. I just kind of shake my head, Barry, say, when are they going to come outside? So that they were the driving force of this show today, clean up time. So hibernation, it does take its toll. February was brutally cold, but now hopefully it's time to put the holiday stuff away until next year. So as I look around my own home, tree branches have fallen. Last year's leaves are still finding nooks and crannies that my rake did not seem to get to. And it seems funny, Barry, every time I open up my detached garage, the leaves want to go in the garage. So I'm having this constant battle between the leaves and my concrete slab. So I'm doing my best to control those little things. But, again, I thought last fall I did a pretty good job. But one thing I like about spring, it is a time for rejuvenation. And there is no better opportunity to get outdoors and do the spring fling thing and put your house back in order. For your soils, you should really aerate, and that's a machine you can typically rent, and it literally takes plugs from your yard and puts them on your ground. And they do dissipate, folks, but what's nice about aerating the soil is that when you go to fertilize, the fertilizer gets down to the roots of your grass. And it's so much better for your yard when you aerate it before you fertilize. You should also consider fertilizing your shrubs. I kind of like the 10-10-10 from Miracle-Gro. And if you're going to do anything like a row of shrubs, you don't put it at the roots, folks. What you do is if you have, I have Leland cypresses, and I've been fertilizing them. What I do is I put it at the outermost leaves or branches closest to the ground. Okay, so what you want is you want the rainwater to come down off those branches and hit the fertilizer that can dissipate through the soil and really help your tree roots. So you don't put them at what I call the trunk of the tree. You put it around the perimeter of the tree. So very important for good fertilization. Cut back anything that's too close to your house, and especially utilities, because as spring continues, the new plant or shrub growth can be incredible. And if you didn't prepare your lawn equipment in the fall, as I talked about, well, you want to do it now. What I always think about is the tax man is going to take us everything away from everything we worked for on April 15th. But at the same time, that's typically right about the time that your lawn needs to have its first cutting. Now, you want to get new blades, and also you should think about spark plugs and air filters if they're required. Pull the plug, take a look at it. If it's heavily carbonated, then swap it out. Because if you're finding that you're pulling that cord on that push mower over and over and over and over and over again, well, guess what, folks? It's the plug. So take it out, take it with you to the landscaping store or your automotive store, hand it to them. They will hand you back one that's brandy new, and it's only a few bucks. Air filters are important, just like in your home. But the one thing about a mower is that it's always embedded with dust because you're constantly cutting the lawn. So some of them also say to spray a little bit of oil on the filter. So it will grab the dust and not let it get into the engine component.
Hey, Jack, this is a spot where we need to take our little break, so can we do that? We'll come right back with more.
Let's do it, Barry.
Okay, you're listening to the House Whisperer Show at WWDB with Jack Milne, and Jack will be back right after this.
Boro Exterminating has been specializing in wood-destroying insect inspection and control for over 40 years, serving Philadelphia and the surrounding counties. All inspectors are state certified and ensure providing their clients with professional inspections and treatments. Boro not only performs conventional termite treatments, but also handles special services like historic buildings and homes with wells, creeks, or ponds. The client is assured that all treatments will be performed safely when you hire Boro to do the work. They also provide radon testing in their service area. Boro's full-time office staff is available to help you schedule an appointment. Just call 610-586-5640 or send an email request to boroinspects@verizon.net. That's 610-586-5640 or email at boroinspects@verizon.net.
Specially created t-shirts by BrainFlushGear.com offer the extreme sports enthusiast an opportunity to have a clothing line available that suits their sport. BrainFlushGear.com understands that when we get the moment where we can jump on our motorcycles, wave runners, surfboards, snowmobiles, or skateboards, it can be priceless. They offer custom artwork including silk screening, transfers, and embroidery. Speak to one of their consultants today, and they'll help you create your own Brain Flush. Visit BrainFlushGear.com or email them at contact@BrainFlushGear.com.
For your septic inspection and testing needs, please consider Bucksmont Inspections. They've been serving the Bucks and Montgomery County areas for over 15 years. As members of the Pennsylvania Septic Management Association, the Pennsylvania Association of Sewage Enforcement Officers, and the Pennsylvania Association for Professional Soil Scientists, Bucksmont Inspections can inspect your existing septic system or test for your new septic system placement. Please call Rob Bowie at 215-669-4213 and say you heard their ad on the House Whisperer Show.
Tri-County Inspection Company has been providing professional home inspections, commercial inspections, and historic property evaluations for over 30 years. For all of your real estate transactions, call Tri-County Inspections at 215-295-2030. For their New Jersey clientele, call 856-853-4224. Tri-County Inspection Company covers 13 counties, serving both New Jersey and Pennsylvania. They have performed inspections for over 70,000 clients and are members of the American Society of Home Inspectors, as well as the Pennsylvania Home Inspectors Coalition. They are licensed in both Philadelphia and New Jersey. Call 215-295-2030 or 856-853-4224.
As the summer months quickly arrive and the temperatures gradually rise, so do the odds of all those filthy and unwanted critters invading your home like rodents, roaches, termites, and flies. Oh my! This summer, if you want to feel safe and secure from a possible creeping, crawling disaster, do yourself a favor and call the exterminating experts at Pest Blaster for all your pest control needs, including tests for radon and mold. Please visit pestblaster.com and you'll be sold. 215-295-5555.
Our house is a very, very, very fine house with 2 cats in the yard.
Okay, we are back with Jack, the House Whisperer Show at WWDB every week at this time, and Jack is talking about cleanup times. Jack, let's continue.
Well, before we move on, I have one more little comment to make, and this was really cute. A few weeks ago, I visited a Sears hardware store, and they had both push mowers out, and they were right next to the snow blowers. So, you know, this month of March can definitely be a funny month. So, but let's talk about next month, because again, this is the last show for March. April showers bring May flowers. Okay, so check your gutters. Again, in the past, I've referenced leaf-for-leaf gutter guards. So put them on now, and the sooner you do it, the less chance you're going to have to re-clean the gutters before you put them on. So again, a roofing contractor can make them available. They do come in strips that clip onto the lip of the gutter and then under your shingle tabs. But the other thing that April showers bring are roof leaks. So if you're thinking about getting a roof, you should get your quotes now. And the reason why, April, May, and June, and even into July, tend to be the busiest months for a roofing contractor. Again, they've hibernated all year too, or all winter as well. So, you know, if you need a roof and the roof is leaking, you already missed the boat. So you want to get the roof replaced before the roof leaks. And folks, if you have a 2-story colonial or ranch or a typical pitched roof, and you already have a layer of shingles down, which you do, Pennsylvania and New Jersey laws do allow you to go over the roof. A good home inspector is going to tell you, please take that layer of shingles off, inspect the plywood, the roof deck, the oriented strand board, whatever your substrate may be, repair, replace as needed, and then put a new roof surface down. New codes require a product called Ice and Water Shield in the first 4 feet at the gutter edge, which is going to help you hopefully prevent ice damming, which is that formation of icicles that we get when the snow melts during the day and freezes up at night. So if you don't like to walk a roof, I suggest that you use binoculars. Or again, just hire the professional. If the professional says you're ready for a new roof, then personally I would hire a second professional to verify the first one's opinion. But do not tell the second roofer about the first roofer's opinion. I hope everybody caught that. Again, if you need
that's
a new
good
roof,
advice.
yeah, tear off the first one. If you have a low-sloped roof, those are the folks in the cities. Don't go over the existing roof surface because, again, they do build up weight every time you put a new roof on. And warranties could be voided. And if roof leaks do occur with a new roof installation, it could prove hard to find. So reputable roofing contractors may be hard to find too, but by all means, go by referral. Now, let's move inside a little bit. Open the windows, guys. Clean both the windows and the screens. On the screens, there's going to be a collection of dust as well as potential pollens, and they can stick to the screens like glue. So you want to go ahead and hose them down and let them dry out. For those of you who don't like screens over their windows, especially your show windows, my opinion is keep them on. A screen stops about 80% of the moisture from getting to your sashes. Now, that's okay, if you have a vinyl sash or aluminum sash, but wood sashes will tend to crack and peel and deteriorate and potentially rot. So my opinion is keep the screens in, even if you may not use those windows all the time. Change the filter to your heating and cooling equipment. Granted, the furnace may be turned off for now, but why not prepare for air conditioning? This little step prevents the quick stop to pick up a new filter because May is just around the corner. My mom always says, or always had this spring cleaning in our house. And she always said to me, okay, Jack, go through last year's clothes and shoes and let me know what doesn't fit or what you don't wear. And my mom had a great point. One, if I didn't like it anymore, I could let it go, and there was no harm, no foul. And I tended to get rid of some of my old things. Now, old jeans I never got rid of because I can wear old jeans until they fall apart. But it also gave me the opportunity to buy new things. Number two, my mom told me early to donate. And as you know through all my my past shows, I'm a strong believer that one should always help others who may be in need. So, folks, if you have kids, they are like weeds. You know what I'm talking about. They're constantly growing, both in the clothing and their feet. Feet are amazing. What fit last summer and fall may not quite fit now. So I ask that you don't store the clothes unless there's another child to pass it down to. If there is, figure the year gap and the current conditions of the garments and store them, in some type of, I like the Rubbermaids or similar tubs, and not just in your attic over your home, but in the garage or crawl space. And the reason that I don't want to have anything in plastic bags, and I hate to say it, folks, is mice. Almost every house has mice either in the attic or in the garage. And if they get into your clothing, folks, man, they are in hog heaven. So you want to have some type of a protective vessel to put your clothes in. And this also goes for any of the beddings. If you have the comforters that you've now pulled out, what are you going to do with them? Again, all these department stores sell these plastic bags with zippers. I don't suggest them. Again, mice can chew through anything. So if you're going to put it in a place where you can't keep an eye on them, protect them as best you can. Also, the winter dust. That's another thing. That can accumulate in your home even if the filter is changed to the heating and cooling equipment when it's supposed to. And again, it should be removed now. One thing I like, Barry, is that in our area we enjoy all four seasons. And as they say, it's time to clean out the old and bring in the new or something like that. And so you really want to take a serious look around your home, both inside and out. Raise the windows. Let the fresh air in and breathe deeply. Think about what's coming up in front of you. Be proactive. Don't be reactive. And I want to get back to this one point real quick. If you have branches that are over your aerial service, that's the line from the pole to your home, actually PECO or your local utility, even in New Jersey, is more than willing to come out and cut the branches away from that service because their responsibility lies from the pole to your home. And they don't want you up in a tree off balance with a pair of loppers in your hand trying to get that furthest most branch because if you fall, well, that's not good. But also, if you come in contact with that aerial service, especially the old 3-wire service, you could get electrocuted. That's why the moral of the story is birds can only stand on one wire at a time, and that's why they don't get electrocuted. But come spring, with novice painters, you always read in the paper where someone fell with their aluminum ladder against the overhead service and got hurt. So care should always be taken. If you don't know what to do or you're not quite sure what to do, get opinions from others. If you know it's way out of your realm, then please hire a professional. So Barry, any points of interest?
Well, you're talking about cleaning up. We didn't realize it when we had our house re-sided, but every year we get the green pollen on the white siding, and I'm out there with all kinds of cleansers and steel wool and everything, and the hose cleaning up the siding, because that green really clings to it. It's hard to get off.
Well, that's where you can introduce a power washer.
That's what I should do.
Simple Green, folks, if you mix that in the little vat of the power washer, that will help take the mold off the building. But, Barry, I can guarantee you where you have that green finish on your siding is the dark side of the house.
You're right.
And, if your house faces north in any particular direction, especially with the pollens that are going to be coming out soon for the spring.
Yeah, that's where it is.
It doesn't adhere to almost any surface. One thing I don't want you to do is ever take a power washer up on your roof and get the moss off the roof.
No, I just did it as far up as I could reach. There's still some green up higher where I can't reach, but the power washer sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, that way you can get to borrow one from your neighbor.
Yeah, I got to find a neighbor with a power washer.
Aha! First thing first.
And one other thing about cleaning up your shrubs and everything. Talking about my neighbors, I want to put a personal message out to all my wonderful neighbors who take such good care of their house. Please do not bring your leaf blowers out like at 7 o'clock in the morning when I'm sleeping.
Yeah, that's a great point, Barry. Most municipalities don't want any type of noise until 8 a.m.
Yeah, well, tell that to a couple of my neighbors.
Well, okay, Barry, before I go and sign off, again, next week, Rob Bruno from Burrow Exterminating. We'll talk for a few minutes on radon in the spring. And again, some of the most interesting things he has come across when treating properties for wood-destroying insects. So, as it is Sunday, please spend time with friends and family, and we'll see you next week on the House Whisperers.
Okay, everybody, tune in again next week for another edition of the House Whisperers Show with professional home inspector Jack Milne. And to listen to previous programs, or if you have any questions, visit thehousewhisperershow.com. I'm Barry Reisman. Thanks for listening to WWDB.
Our house is a very, very, very fine house with 2 cats in